Hi there, and welcome to Duality's latest simulation demo, the OGC DP23 Wildfire Indicator Immersive Visualization. Many federal and state agencies, tribes, local land managers, and other stakeholders work together to manage wildland fires. Training, planning, and managing resources before, during, and after events are critical aspects of the strategies to combat them. The availability of past, real-time, and near-time data, together with their immersive visualization and the simulation of various possible scenarios, can immensely help stakeholders and decision makers. At Duality, we've developed a demo to show off a scenario that combines our digital site twin technology and our interactive visualization of data that would be important to combat these wildfires. The data, which are decision-ready indicators, also known as DRIs, are generated by our fellow DP23 participants from Skymantics, HSR Health, and Compusalt. First, we created a digital site twin of the area of interest. Then we proceeded to overlay the DRIs over top. The goal is to provide extra context to people who are making the important decisions pre, post, and during a fire. This chart shows a quick overview of the system. On the left is the creation of the site twin, and the right the import of the DRIs. Both are converted into digital twins in our catalog and then added to a scenario that is run by our Falcon simulation engine. First, we start with creating the digital twin of the site. We selected an 84,000 square kilometer area around Fish Lake, Utah. This is our first time creating a digital site twin on such a large scale. Our previous largest example was a 200 square kilometer city. Creation, visualization, and simulation of such a large area presented many challenges, particularly on the compute resource front. We had to devise many innovative solutions to resolve them. To make this twin, we acquired 189 1-meter resolution DEM tiles from the USGS. After merging the tiles, the DEM was processed to generate imagery with the required resolution. Then for the texturing, we started with cloud and shadow-free Sentinel-2 10-meter resolution tiles. Through our GIS AI pipeline, we analyzed and classified the satellite imagery into 5 soil classes: whitish, light brown, medium brown, dark brown, and golden brown. Then we analyzed vegetation types, and then we created road and street network geometry using data from the US Census Bureau. We then worked with the OGC DP23 DRI participants to extract datasets from their respective APIs. Each of these datasets were further analyzed and processed to be ready to be consumed by our 3D digital twin pipeline. Through Skymantics APIs, we collected coordinates of the evacuation route's waypoints. Through HSR Health's APIs, we collected health risk and population health data for all of the census tracts in our area of interest. The right-hand side of this image represents example data from one of those tracts. Through Compusalt's APIs, we collected a fire potential dataset and converted it into geometry. The right-hand side of this image represents an example fire potential dataset for 2 different dates. Fire potential values range from 1 to 100, where 1 represents the lowest fire potential and 100 represents the highest. Next, these 3 sets of data were converted into 3D geometry to be placed on our digital site twin. This image shows the evacuation route geometry. This image shows fire potential for grid squares ranging from 1 to 100. 1 represents the lowest fire potential, and 100 represents the highest. The grid squares are 27.75 kilometers square. This image shows the risk indicator census tract boundaries. The geometry was built from these with the height based on data from ranges 1 to 7. In this range, 1 represents low risk, and 7 represents extreme risk. This image shows the road network from the US Census Bureau data. And finally, this image shows the terrain surface derived from a height map supplied from a 7,000 by 12,000 pixel GeoTIFF image of Fish Lake, Utah. Now it's time to see the demo of the actual scenario. First, you see our site twin, which can be viewed from any angle, but we've provided 3 preset cameras on the right to choose from. We've marked the 3 angles in these images with a north direction. First, we turn on the evacuation route, which also includes arrows to specify the correct direction to travel. Next, we turn on the health risk, which breaks up the landscape into specific zones, and then provides data for each. So for example, let's zoom into Zone 2, and then it reveals the data associated with that area. Or here's the data associated with Zone 8. Now let's turn on fire potential. The brighter yellow colors are an area of higher potential, and the more transparent yellow are areas of lower potential. Then we turn on fire spread. The day slider lets us scrub or play through the data as it relates to a 30-day period. So you see when we move through time, the fire spread data changes. The spread shown here is based on a simulation, and one of the advantages of our approach is the ability to view DRIs in spatial alignment with simulated or real fire scenarios. Now let's turn on several of our DRIs at the same time, and hit the play box to play through our 30-day period and see how the data changes. Some data changes daily, or as is the case with our fire potential data, we get a change in data every 8 days. A digital site twin of an existing location with immersive visualization, navigation, and ability to simulate various scenarios opens many opportunities for federal, state, and local government organizations, disaster response personnel, decision makers, aid organizations, and citizens to improve their fire response in the case of an emergency. Thank you for watching, and feel free to contact Duality for more information about our software or this project.